KPBS On Demand is supported by San Diego Congregations of the United Church of Christ, a community where Christmas is the story of a love greater than all that makes us despair. Learn more at sandiegoucc.org.
Good morning, I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. It's Friday, December 12th. Local woman's story sheds light on conditions for detainees. More on that next, but first, let's do the headlines. The Trump administration is adding a militarized zone along the border in Imperial and San Diego counties. The AP is reporting that on Wednesday, the Department of Interior said it will transfer authority over the area to the Navy. This has previously been done in other areas to allow troops to apprehend immigrants for trespassing on military bases. The newly designated zone extends from Arizona's state line to the Otay Mountain Wilderness. The Interior Department describes the new zone as a high-traffic area for unlawful immigrant crossings. The County Board of Supervisors approved a measure this week aiming to expand the use of solar energy in low-income and disadvantaged communities. It's being called the Solar Advantage Program. It asks county officials to identify any county-owned land or leased properties that could be utilized for smaller-scale solar power projects. Board Chair Tara Lawson-Remer proposed the measure. A statement from her office says many developers would like to participate in the program but struggle to find leasable sites on county-owned land. Rady Children's main campus put on its 8th annual Light the Way Parade of Lights this week. The event brings holiday spirit to children who are sick or injured and spending their holiday in the hospital. The Parade of Lights began with a countdown from San Diego Fire Rescue and some local lifeguards. First responders then drove their vehicles around the hospital, flashing their lights and sirens to mark the start of the holiday season. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
How does AI even work? Where does creativity come from? What's the secret to living longer? TED Radio Hour explores the biggest questions with some of the world's greatest thinkers. They will surprise, challenge, and even change you. Listen to NPR's TED Radio Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
A Ukrainian woman in San Diego released this week from federal detention says she's still scared and unsure of her future. Reporter Tammy Murga says her testimony is shedding light on conditions often hidden or denied by immigration officials.
Victoria says I'm distressed. I can't focus. I still can't get why I have found myself in this situation and what's gonna be next.
Victor Corol is Victoria Belovna's husband. He watches her fidget with the long sleeves of her black shirt as he translates for her. His wife is still shaken by the 3 days she says she spent in the basement of a federal building downtown. She was arrested after a green card interview. Belovna says she and other women detainees couldn't sleep. They were too cold and crammed. They pressed breakfast trays onto their bodies while they were still warm. They used exposed toilets.
I guess you hate to say the E word, evil, but it is.
Scott Santa Rosa is pastor of Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish in Barrio Logan.
Is it worse to stay completely, in the shadows or to come forward and try to go through the right door? Well, then this system is not rewarding that.
He has witnessed immigration and customs enforcement agents arrest people as they head to their court hearings and green card interviews. ICE did not respond to a request for comment. Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
A proposed class action lawsuit claims Sharp Healthcare recorded exam room conversations using artificial intelligence without telling patients. Health reporter Heidi DeMarco breaks down the complaint.
A San Diego patient says he went in for a checkup at Sharp Reese Steely in July and later found out audio from the visit had been recorded without consent. That's the claim at the center of a proposed class action suit filed against Sharp Healthcare. It says Sharp started using an artificial intelligence app called Abridge in April. The recording tool listens in on doctor visits and drafts clinical notes. The lawsuit says the app recorded everything said in the exam and sent the audio to Abridge's servers. The key allegation is that patients never knew. California law requires all parties to consent to recording confidential conversations. The lawsuit seeks damages, corrections to medical records, and a court order stopping Sharp from using the tool without consent. Sharp says it can't comment on pending litigation. Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
Earlier this year, KPBS uncovered a crude voice message from a top official in the county's Department of Animal Services. In it, the official called for more dogs to be euthanized. Reporter Elena Alfaro says KPBS has now obtained an apology letter from the official.
The contents of the recording are jarring, especially when considering the source.
I'm so sick of us keeping dogs that aren't going to get adopted. That's why we're overcrowded. Call me heartless, but I'm also realistic.
That's the voice of Rachel Borelli, the department's #2 official. KPBS confirmed she went on leave in September. Molly Higgins is a former Carlsbad shelter volunteer. She says the voice message reflects Borelli's attitude toward euthanasias.
I wasn't surprised, because that's just very on brand for the Rachel Borelli that I knew and experienced at the shelter.
KPBS obtained Borelli's apology letter through a California Public Records Act request. The Department of Animal Services would not agree to an interview, but sent a statement regarding the recording. Quote, "We are not able to discuss personnel matters, but the recording previously reported does not reflect the values or mission of the County of San Diego, and it is not representative of the caring and dedicated work of the Department of Animal Services staff." End quote. Elena Alfaro, KPBS News.
National City's vacation rental operators may have to race for a permit to keep operating. iNews Source reporter Crystal Niebla explains why.
National City's new law is meant to prevent crime allegedly happening at short-term rentals. Now, only 45 vacation homes per council district will be allowed. Councilmember Jose Rodriguez led the passage of these new rules.
There will inevitably be a race for some of these permits, which is something that individual property owners will have to make sure to stay on top of and apply quickly if they wish to operate a short-term rental property in National City.
City officials expect to start issuing permits next year. For KPBS, I'm iNews Source reporter Crystal Niebla.
iNews Source is an independently funded nonprofit partner of KPBS. This story is part of our Public Matters partnership. To find out more, go to kpbs.org/Public Matters. There's a corner of the county where you can experience 37 acres of lush gardens anytime. In December's Museum of Month, reporter John Carroll tells us why the San Diego Botanic Garden is so special, especially at this time of year.
What sounds does a garden make? There are birds, a breeze rustling through trees, and in this case, distant traffic. It's all what you might expect to hear at the San Diego Botanic Garden. And the traffic? Well, that's because this garden is surrounded by the city of Encinitas, and Interstate 5 is less than 2 miles away. As to what you see in this garden, that's a long list.
We all have our little sections that we love the most.
That's the garden's president and CEO, Ari Novi. He says during COVID, when he'd walk through the garden alone, he thought about experiencing it as a visitor.
I found myself drawn to the natural parts of the garden. And especially we have a trail that we call our Native Plants, Native Peoples Trail. And that's a part of the garden that was really designed in collaboration with the Humul Band of Kumeyaay Native Americans.
There are, in fact, more than 5,000 plant species and varieties in the garden. Along with the Native Peoples Trail, they are represented across 28 other themed gardens, including the largest public bamboo collection in North America. But even with all these plants, the garden is, in fact, a museum.
If the definition of a museum is a collections-based institution, we are a collection of living plants. And in fact, one of the certification bodies for Botanic Gardens is the American Alliance of Museums. And so, absolutely, we are a museum.
It probably wouldn't elicit much surprise to say San Diego County is a great place for a garden of any size. Just look at all the agriculture here. In fact, Novi says there really isn't any better place for a garden in the continental United States.
San Diego County is the most plant biodiverse county in the United States, meaning we have more plant species native to San Diego County than any other county in the United States.
Novi says, like the San Diego Zoo, an important part of the garden's mission is preservation.
There's a lot of endangered and threatened plants here in San Diego County that really need help. And so we're able to be a big part of the, it really takes a village to do this work, but we're a really important member of that village doing that kind of work.
Back to the sounds that emanate from this garden. At this time of year, there is this.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
That music accompanies Lightscape, what Novi calls a dazzling 1-mile-long trail of color and light throughout the garden.
And so we heard about this wonderful program at Chicago Botanic Garden, and we thought, wow, we really love the way this holiday light show is for a botanic garden. It is highlighting the plants. Many of the artists who designed the exhibits, they study the plants, where those exhibits are going to be, and the exhibits live on the plants, but in a respectful manner, in a safe manner, for the integrity of the plant. So we thought, oh, this is great. We want to have a holiday light show that's elevated, but that considers the garden an equal co-star together with the visions of the artists.
Lightscape takes about an hour to an hour and a half to experience, and there is a separate charge in addition to the regular admission. It runs through January 4th. The extra money that comes in from Lightscape helps the garden in a number of ways, including its education programs.
If we're not educating at every phase of life, then we're not doing our jobs. And so the programs here start at early childhood, and then every single age going all the way up to college, and then we begin the lifetime learning for the adults. I mean, you can come here and learn how to care for your orchids, or do ikebana, or bonsai. We have birding programs, butterfly identification programs, all kinds of horticulture. We are committed to the lifelong learning about anything and everything that's plant or plant adjacent.
The San Diego Botanic Garden traces its roots to a donation of land to the county by Ruth Larrabee. That was in 1957. But it didn't open until 1970. Then it was known as the Quail Botanic Gardens. 55 years later, it's going strong with big plans for the future.
The board of the garden has approved kind of a 20-year master site plan, which in today's dollars includes $100 million worth of improvements to the garden.
Those improvements will include new buildings and new gardens, but some things won't change, including the stunning views of the Pacific, in a place where you can reconnect with nature and find refreshment and renewal in a part of San Diego County you could call a slice of paradise. John Carroll, KPBS News.
As we do for you each and every Friday, we have some weekend event ideas for you and yours. For 10 whole days, the Del Mar Fairgrounds will be transformed into a holiday festival, decked out with a skating rink, light displays, vendors market, and more. It kicks off today. On Saturday, enjoy curated sounds by the San Diego Symphony Orchestra at the Rady Shell. They are presenting a screening of the Christmas hit movie The Holiday while performing the musical score to the film live. And on Sunday, your San Diego Seals will kick off their season with a home opener against the Rochester Nighthawks. That takes place at Pechanga Arena at 2 p.m. There will be a home opener tailgate with music, games, and a mechanical bull for anyone brave enough to ride it. Whatever you do decide to do this weekend, please enjoy. That's it for the pod this week. This podcast is edited by Brooke Ruth and hosted and produced by me, Lawrence K. Jackson. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. Thanks for listening and subscribing. By doing so, you're supporting public media, and I thank you for that. Have a great weekend.
KPBS On Demand is supported by ACLU of San Diego and Imperial Counties. The work of the ACLU is about closing the gap between the America that was promised and the America that is. Learn more at www.aclu-sdic.org.